Hi YouTube, it has been a while, but today we're going to talk about why I will not be upgrading from my FX3 onto the FX5. I'm going to list the reasons. They actually make sense to me, so if you can take anything from this video, then go ahead. But if you are already set on to thinking that the FX5 is better than the FX3, then maybe this is not the video for you. With that said, I am also not a tech person. So the reasons are not going to be much more in depth about the specs of both cameras, but more so on the day-to-day onto why I chose and keep choosing the FX3 as my main camera. So reason number one is it actually took me a long time to save up and actually be able to purchase the FX3, which was not long ago, not knowing that they were going to drop a new camera. So that's reason number one, and I guess number two as well. Also, the body of the FX3 is much more comfortable, it's more compact, it's smaller, it fits right in my hand, where the FX5 is a bit bulkier, and I don't think it would be as comfortable for me to have it, and if I did, I would probably have to rig it. So I don't normally have the FX3 rigged out. I also don't even have the top handle when I don't need it. So I feel like just getting away with having the camera, the lens, a monitor, and the mic, or sometimes not even having the monitor, I can get away with having a small compact setup. I'm never really going to use open gate. The reason being is because the work that I do right now doesn't really require me to shoot open gate, and I'm able to get away with shooting 4K and having both vertical and horizontal video and using it for both social media and like YouTube and stuff. I also do weddings, so from the wedding recordings, I'm also able to do like a reel or a highlight for Instagram. I've never had an issue with having to crop in, so I don't really know, like I don't want to spend the extra money on having the open gate as a spec on a camera because I'm really not going to use it at this stage. That might change in the future, but for now, it's not a priority for me. Also, don't need the RAW either, and if I upgraded to have a RAW camera that could shoot RAW, I would have to upgrade my computer, my external hard drives, and all of my like memory and, you know, as far as like saving my projects. And I don't have the budget for that. So not only are you spending $1,500 more if you have the FX3 to get the FX5, but you're also upgrading like a lot of equipment that comes with it. And that's just a much bigger decision. And I don't think that it should be taken lightly. Also, my reason number 6, I guess, I lost track. But my other reason is that, let's say I spend the $1,500, there's so much more that I could be using that money towards. I can get a better monitor, I can get a better mic, I can get lighting, I can get tripods, I could get a potato jet tripod, and still have money left over. So I just don't think that having the latest equipment, I've always thought this way, I don't think that having the latest equipment is what's going to make your videos better. With that said, I also don't think that you shouldn't have good equipment, but I think that you should get to know your cameras enough for it not to buy one every time one launches. And also when you're shooting, like if you don't know your menus, if you don't know how your camera shoots, you don't get to really enjoy the camera as it is. And also you don't get to see how powerful these cameras actually are. When I bought the FX30, I actually got it as a step up for my FX3. And I didn't really have the money to buy the FX3, to be honest. So I decided to get the FX30, and I tried to really learn the cinema camera lines because I wanted to, when I got this camera, I wanted to actually take advantage of all the things that it could offer. And I ended up getting to know my FX30 so much so that today I pair it with my FX3, and I actually can't even tell the difference. I think when it really becomes apparent is in low light, but even so, you can get like a 1.2 or a 1.8 lens and have extremely good footage. So I think with that said, you know, people turn away from crop sensor cameras sometimes, and they also think that you have to get the latest gear or have open gate and all this stuff. That doesn't really matter when on a day-to-day basis and doesn't really apply to everyone and the job that they are doing. I'm actually not even sure if they made a new battery for the FX5. If they did, then that would mean that I would have to get new batteries. Honestly, I haven't looked into that part of it. So I'm not gonna really list this one as a reason, but it's something to look into and see if that's, you know, gonna become a part of the budget that you're spending. I do a lot of traveling and I like my gear to be small. I also have a brace on my arm, so as you can see, I don't need to have that much weight on my arm. So I think that having a smaller setup, especially for filming for YouTube, like this is such a good camera for not only professional work, but also for content creation as well. And it comes in such a compact and small setup that it's just impressive what this can do. So I think these are all my reasons. It's a very short video. It's much more saying just what I think in my mind as far as the gear that you should get. And I also think that you should really enjoy the gear that you can afford and make the best of it. I think that we get caught up on just having the latest gear, and we feel this pressure onto just buying everything because this YouTuber has it, or this person that I follow on Instagram, or this person that I like their work and I want my work to look the same as theirs. That doesn't mean that it's gonna look the same. So really enjoy and take advantage of the gear that you have and make the best of it. And as you can see, I am so in love with this camera. I spend so much money on it that I really hate when people kind of are shitting on it right now, because it's still a $4,000 camera and it's not easy to come by no matter what people make you think. Use your gear and shoot some cool stuff. Okay, that's it for today. Bye guys.